Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Coldborough Farm where we're doing some more seeding, and today it's barley on field 8. I've forgotten where I wrote down what I'm planting where, which is wonderful. Oh, I'm doing well already. Is it written down here? Ah, yes. Inside pages. I do legitimately have a book in front of me that has like what I'm seeding where written down. So after field 8, we'll apparently be headed into field 3 for some more barley seeding. So I got everything planned out, and we're gonna try a rotation based on what I've written down. So currently field 2 is going to be wheat, 3 is barley, 4 and 5 are both corn, 7 and 8 are wheat and barley respectively, and 6 and 9 are canola. Just because I literally wrote down the numbers, but 4 and 5 is corn, and then went wheat, barley, canola. It's a way of doing a rotation. 4 and 5 will likely just stay corn, even if I produce too many seeds out of it, because if I produce too many, that just means pretty much that we'll get a free rotation out of it. For example, if we'll say 4 and 5 produce 10% too much corn, eventually we'll get a free full seeding where we can put barley or wheat down on fields 4 and 5. Fields 4 and 5. Sorry, I've got a bit of gas, I guess is the best way of putting it. So we're working away. I haven't actually started working on getting Trackout working Farm Sim yet. That's going to be something I do after this video is recorded. As you can see, real life and game time are pretty much in sync at the moment. 9:41 PM in real time, and it's not quite as dark as it is in the game. I say as I look out my window. Not quite as dark, but still quite dark. Our soil moisture is good, and I think the best thing I can do right now is throw some PK down on this field to try and, to get the PK levels up a bit. So what I'll do once I get this down is I'll come in with the fertilizer spinner, and probably this because it's got flotation tires on it, and I'll throw down a bunch of PK. What else? Yes, the Ford Forces that I have, I've got one on Little Town. They're going. They're a complete mess. To be blunt, they're a train wreck of a mod. I'm not willing to keep them. So they're going to be going. I've already swapped out the Ford Forces on Little Town. Ford 7000 I bought, that's been replaced by TW10. If you watched yesterday's stream, you'll know that already. I'll be putting that stream live, actually probably shortly after I got this video recorded. And then working on some other stuff that I really need to work on. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for the night, which is fun. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Mine was eventful, to say the least. Bit of everything was going on. I managed to sneak in the 2 Ireland matches, or at least the majority of them. I gave up on both. Well, it became blatantly obvious I weren't going to win either one of them. I actually did watch the football match at the end. The rugby match was too painful. The referee in that was atrocious. Missed some very obvious calls. Soccer, I'm a bit more happy with. It was down to Ireland just running out of steam. So yeah. One thing I probably should say is, I don't know if I'm seeing things correctly, but it does look like the map has like splotches on it, almost. It does in the corners of field 7. That's unusual. We're actually in field 8 as well along the edge. Huh, that's a bit odd. One thing I'm going to do a bit more often is let you guys decide, small things for the map. So I think the first thing I should leave open for discussion is what on earth am I to do with the €40,000? Now what I could do, option one, really, is buy another field, which will mean I'll have to plough, cultivate and seed it. If I were to buy a grass field, and you guys can decide what kind of field you want me to buy. If I were to buy a meadow, I would have to, well, I'd be able to make bales straight away, which is awesome because that's money. If the downside of that would be I would have to plough, cultivate and seed it in rather short order, but you know, it's not impossible. The other option is, I guess, kind of field 18 would be the realistic option. I think field 10 is really out of the price range. So it's going to be kind of field 32, 33 probably, maybe 38, although that's kind of out of the way. 32, 33, 27 potentially, or 26 would be the meadows I would buy. Maybe 23 actually, that's kind of in my area. And then the crop field would be field 18 most likely, maybe 1 depending on the price. And you guys can decide what you want. Or alternatively, I could just say, you know what, the 40,000 is great, let's pay back some of the loan, because I think there's still a loan on this map. Is there? Yes, the full 200,000. So it could go towards paying back the loan, so that we only have 160,000 left on the loan. My personal call on that would be paying back the loan. But if you guys want to overrule me, that's fine. I'll give you guys a week to decide what I do, and I'll carry out your decision. Obviously the money will go down slightly before the next video because of well, wear and tear in the vehicles and 4 hours of streaming most likely. But, you know, with whatever's left we can still try and enact whatever decision you guys make. If it's paying back the loan, I'll just pay back as much as I possibly can. If it's buying a field and I can't afford it, I guess I'll have to overrule you guys and pay back the loan, because I can't carry out something I can't afford in the game. So yeah, I'll give you guys a bit of control over what on earth is going on, because it has occurred to me that I am very I make decisions and don't really give you guys any input, which, I mean, it is my prerogative to do that. It is my YouTube channel, my series, but I mean, you guys are the ones that watch, you guys are the ones that spend your time watching, so it's only fair if I give you guys some input into what happens. Especially on this, because this is kind of what I consider my flagship. You can make some suggestions on Littletown as well, I guess. ATS is very kind of, what jobs are available. And because it's MP now, you guys can join in the streams when you figure out where I am. So I mean, I'm trying to be a bit more open and inclusive in videos, and interact with you guys a bit more. Because I realise that's kind of a downfall of mine, a weakness is I tend to just do the videos and then not give you guys any interaction other than during the streams, which I know you guys enjoy the stream interaction. I'm going to turn on the wheel mode, because I forgot to. I know you guys enjoy the interaction. In fact, only today I got praise from somebody who's new to the channel, praising the interaction I have with Yatton. I tend to, I do read every message. Every comment I read. I might not reply to them all, I read every one of them. Every chat message I definitely see. Usually, sometimes I do miss them because I'm distracted by the game. Mondays are the worst for that, so if you were in chat today and I didn't read any of your messages, I apologise. Roller Coaster Tycoon is amazing, and it does kind of mean that I don't chat as much with chat. Because I'm usually trying to figure something out in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Which I should probably make videos of that. I should really, come up with new games to make videos of, so that I'm not constantly stuck in the same cycle. Because I might replace the Project Hell videos with just, a random game, or something, or a new Let's Play, or something, like that. So what games would you like to see on the channel? I can't guarantee I own it, but if I do own it, I'll definitely give it some consideration. So I've got a lot of stuff for you guys to maybe talk about in the comments if you want. You know, what do you want me to do on the map here? Do you want to see more equipment like this deer, or more like the TW10, the Massey, more smaller stuff that I can use a bit more widely, or something like this, something big that I can just use for field work essentially. I'm not going to be using this for mowing or anything like that. This is just going to be our big field work beast until the loan runs out. And yeah, that is an issue, is the loan. I will be eventually buying this kind of tractor, but right now it is loaned. And once the loan runs out, we're down to the 2 small tractors, which is why I bought the 2 of them. They're both front loaders, they're both relatively flexible in what I can do with them, so I can, you know, run them about a bit more. I know that a lot of I know that the likes of the D80 Deutz, they're not popular because this is a big map and they're small equipment. I know that's going to be a thing people say, is get rid of the small equipment. The answer is no, because I really like it, and I think it's fun to have, you know, 2 different styles of equipment on the same map in a way, where I can have like 1 or 2 fields that are just really small equipment and most of the fields be big stuff. I'm not going to go and say I'm only going to use classics on this farm like I did in Nussin. No, I learned my lesson from that. But yeah, that's kind of my plan going forward, is interact with you guys more, and try to get some stuff organised, and maybe we could do some MP and, well, ATS definitely. I mean, I'll be streaming it, you can join in, you can, as long as you don't just stop on the middle of the road and cause me to wreck my truck. I've no issues with anybody joining in on a convoy. You literally don't need to ask. If I'm streaming, you can join in the convoy. If I do some MP Farm Sim someday, we'll say I've got all the stuff I need to do on Little Town done in the Friday stream, and I've nothing to do for the Sunday stream. I'll probably I'll probably host a server and just play with vanilla equipment on like Westbridge Hills or something. Or maybe I'll, you know, something like that, where you guys, no matter how good or bad your PC is, you can join in. Right now I don't really have the space to do that though, because I got everything kind of all clustered up. Project Hell, if I finish that early, I could... That's a thing I could do. If I finish Project Hell early, I could stop the stream for about 20 minutes, because that's how long it takes YouTube to figure out that the stream is actually over. And I could, in that time, start setting up a server for Farm Sim. Not a Deddy, because I can't afford that, but a self-hosted server, get some, you know, cheat some money in, get some vehicles, get a couple of fields, and we could start playing on that then, straight afterwards. So that's kind of an idea that I'd like your feedback on, because I do know that there's a lot of people asking for multiplayer. There's a few people asking me to go on Discord more. Problem with that is I am pushing myself quite hard, to be honest. Doesn't seem like it from like the fact that my videos are usually just, you know, live commentary, uncut stuff, but I'm usually doing something behind the scenes to relax, which I do need to do a lot. It's not like, oh, I will tire myself out. I don't want to get too stressed, so sometimes I will just stop doing things and relax for a few hours, because I get stressed very quickly and very easily. And sometimes I'm working on other projects, because to be quite honest, YouTube isn't the only project I've got going on. I've got a couple of others, and one of them requires quite a lot of time right now, because I need to learn an entire program and possibly learn quite a lot of new information, definitely. But that could come good. That could give you guys something in the next possibly like 3 to 6 months if I could figure it out. The issue will be figuring it out. Because if I can get it, if I can figure out how it works, I can use it. And if I can use it, I can create stuff with it. And if I can create stuff with it, I can release stuff with it. And I can create zip files of stuff that you guys can use. And it's not going to be farm sim mods. Shocker, it's not. Farm sim mods I really don't know if I'm going to bother with. If I do, it'll be a map. And again, with the map, if I do, it'll be for Farm Sim 17 most likely. I don't really know if I want to do a Farm Sim 15 map at this point in time. I may create one, for kind of semi-private release where I'll just put it on like Dropbox or Google Drive or something and release it there. Give a download link off Dropbox and be like, hey, here's a map I made. It's small and it's not great. But if I create one for like Mod Central or FSUK or wherever, most likely Mod Central, because to be quite honest, I support that site more than I do FSUK. I think FSUK have been making some bad decisions and are starting to seem, in my eyes, a small bit desperate for people to come back with some of the decisions they've made of late. That said, I need to make a new FSUK account and start taking advantage of some of those decisions. One of which is that you can now promote your YouTube channel on FSUK, which you couldn't up until a couple of months ago. So I'll probably have a topic up on FSUK within the next week or so, specifically for the channel, and if I do release anything, it'll be on the new FSUK account that I haven't yet created. And I hope somebody hasn't stolen the name I want already. Which is why I'm saying it now, and not mentioning the name I want. It's obvious what name I want, just don't know if it's available. What else is there to talk about? Because there's a lot been happening and a lot going on still. If you didn't guess, things have been a bit mildly chaotic and my sleeping pattern's been suffering. That would actually, the sleeping pattern thing is actually stress. So if I just suddenly stop streaming for a few days, it's probably me trying to fix my sleeping pattern because I've got overly stressed, or me realizing I'm overly stressed and just taking a small break. I will try and keep creating videos if that happens, because I just for whatever reason tend to be less stressed making videos. It used to be the case that I was like super stressed going into a video. I genuinely dreaded it. Now I only dread the bit where I actually have to edit it. Which, there is some editing still going on. Not as much as the likes of Daggerwin or Simulate, but there is some editing going on behind the scenes. I know Simulate said that most of his editing is just getting rid of language. Daggerwin's is mainly getting rid of mistakes from what I'm aware. Like mainly getting rid of mistakes and just cutting out boring bits. Which is fine, I guess. I would cut out me seeding this, but that's like 3 hours. That's that's like an hour and a half of work left for me. So no offense, but I don't have that much time available to me tonight. If I wasn't streaming, I probably actually would just see this field and be like, hey, I'll be back when I'm finished. No, I can't do that. That's not a thing I can do. Kinda wish I could. I kinda wish I could skip time and just be like, I'll be back in reality when I'm finished, and then just like three seconds later for me it's done. No, I actually have to wait. Not necessarily because I could do a GRLE swap in Giant's Editor, but that actually involves me putting in effort in using Giant's Editor and editing the map, and no. That's not something I want to do. I'm playing with a pen and I don't know why. Is this... Oh! I see what the splotchiness is. I think it's showing me where I've seeded. Is it? Or is that just... Oh no, it's the door frame, but if I were to go 0... Now I can see where I've seeded. And where the map has some minor issues. But you can see I'm making good progress on Field 8, and the PDA map itself is slightly offset from where it should be. If I were to press 0 or 9 and 0 again, you can see that almost all of the fields have withered. This field is getting well seeded in. Fields... Oh, Field 3 is seeded already? Oh, I've already finished Field 3. So that means it's 2, 9, 6 and 7 left to do. That's actually convenient. By the way, this is the multi-map overlay, or maxi-map overlay mod even, which is... I would suggest it, I'd recommend it, because you can see at a glance what your fields are seeded in. Field 10 appears to be the only field that is actually 100% correct on the PDA. That's mainly down to giants being weird and screwing up overlays. So what do I want to seed next? I guess wheat would be next up on the chopping block for the seeder. Just because that's going to be relatively... I say relatively the same amount of seeds. They all take the same amount of seeds. I don't have MR Light in. I kind of wish I did, but I don't want a mod that's potentially unstable. And MR Light is very much a work in progress / beta. I do know it exists for those of you who have heard of it and who are saying, well, this guy's playing realistically but he's not using MR Light. I know MR Light is a thing. For those of you who haven't heard of it, it's basically the guys who really enjoyed MR in 2013, more realistic mod, for those of you who never heard of MR, which, wow. The guys who really enjoyed that mod in 2013 have been working on trying to get it working in FS15. They've got some basic aspects working, but Dural, the original author of More Realistic, has... I don't know if he's taken a break from farm sim modding or if he's quit farm sim modding. Either way, MR is not going to be a thing for FS15 by the looks of it. And at this late stage, I won't be using it either way. Because, I mean, the mods right now for FS15 are stable, relatively so. The quality is relatively good, and I don't think I need to be getting rid of everything just to suit one mod, effectively. So I've got the Deutz over here on the seed tender, which I'm not bothering to move because it's actually in a good position as is, just because it's out of the way. It's going in as wheat out of the tender because reasons, but it is seeds. I think it might in fact be barley coming out of the tender, and if that's the case, I'm impressed. Let's say it is, because I mean you would actually use seed barley to seed barley. That's Field 9. Field 8 is this one. I know this because I'm smart. So we'll just cruise in here. We've made good progress on the field now that I'm kind of cruising in a bit. Even in the last 25 minutes, I think we've made rather impressive progress. This may not be the biggest seeder in the world, but I mean it only takes half an hour, 45 minutes to seed these fields, which is fine. In my books at least. I know some of you are thinking, why is he still seeding? If he had a 6-meter seeder, which is what the map comes with originally, he'd be done by now. I know this. I also know that by default you can't use seeds 2 with this seeder. So for those of you wondering, yes, I have edited this specific seeder to work for my needs. Very easy edit to do. It's an XML edit, so if you don't have Giants Editor, you can still do it. you just add seeds 2 to the fill types, which will literally just be seeds. And then you add in a line saying allow fill from air true. That's not the specific line you need to add in, but it's kind of a synopsis of what the line says. Is you can fill it from air, which is what the overloader does. Is it technically fills it from the air, as opposed to a trigger point, which is what normal seeders do. This one can be filled by, I think even a bucket can do it. I don't want to test that theory, but I think a bucket can do it. One thing I do need to do, I think, is modify the buckets so they can take seeds too, which is gonna be fun. I also don't know if the multi-fruit mod is going to conflict with anything at all. I'm hoping not, but it could happen. Because I do have multi-fruit in this mod folder now because of Little Town. So yeah, that's kind of a bunch of stuff that I know I've rattled off a bunch of stuff today, good lord. One thing I will say, if you're seeding on pretty much any map with a 3-meter seeder, your best bet is to use GPS mod, because you can get nice straight lines. If you're using a 6-meter seeder like the Vaderstadt, the Vaderstadt's actually the best one. It seems to me like the ridge markers on the Vaderstadt work slightly better than any on a 3-meter seeder for whatever reason. So I would advise that as kind of a 6-meter option. And if you like using just ridge markers and not using GPS, that's probably your best option. Now, luckily for me, GPS does work rather... Hang on, has the GPS sound changed on this? I just need to check. I think the GPS sound has returned to normal on this. I'm not entirely sure why. Or am I just kind of hearing things? I'll know when it comes up to the end here, because the John Deere one leaves off a different beep to normal. So I'll just leave it engaged. Oh no, it's still John Deere. That's, yeah, the default sounds for GPS are just a beep beep or something like that, and there's no like alarm tone, so it's very similar to all the other sounds, which is why I prefer this John Deere one, because it lets you know what exactly you're doing. It is Green Star sound, so it does fit in the Deere. I will use it for other vehicles as well, just because it's better GPS sounds. Yeah. I had a toasted sandwich and some Black Forest, and I think they're slightly repeating on me because I'm fat. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually kind of impressed at how much seeding we've done today, and how much seeding this seeder can do without being refilled. I haven't tinkered with any values of it. I could very easily, but I haven't. So it's like 1,000 litres of seeds or so for this field, or 2,000, just over. I would guess. I don't know if there is a way to. There must be, because MR does it, or did it. I was gonna say that I don't know if there's a way to change how quickly seeds go in, but I'm guessing there might well be. Because I would like to have canola being less, like even less yield than it currently is, but take less seeds as well. And have barley and wheat take significantly more seeds than canola, whereas at the moment they're all taking roughly the same amount, which is a bit of a shame. Grass could do with the default values, I think, because grass seeds are quite small. Corn, I'd probably increase as well because corn seeds are huge. Corn seeds are literally like a kernel each. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully in the next stream we'll be finishing up some of the wheat seeding. Or not in the next stream, in the next video we'll be finishing up hopefully at least the wheat seeding. Possibly all of the seeding. And I'll also act on whatever you guys want. So remember, if you want... Remember to leave a comment below with what you want me to do with 40,000. I'm not going to... Or 39,940. It'll be decreasing, so... We'll say 30,000. If you want me to put 30,000 towards paying off the loan, let me know. Or do you want a new field? I'm not going to get a new tractor just yet because I want to save up for, well, this thing. And if I can pay back the loan, that's useful, to say the least. So yeah, you guys will get a bit of creative control for once. I know I should be doing a storyline, but hey, let's give you guys a bit of creative control for once. And if you can come up with a storyline reason as well why I'm doing what I'm doing, that'd be amazing, because I do want to return to the storyline. For certain things. I mean, this thing, it's on trial, we're testing it. The Ford and Massey, I don't know, we wanted them. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I've been Rainbow Dave, you've been watching Farming Simulator 15 on Coldborough Farm. Until next time, when we'll hopefully be finishing up the seeding for this round. Ooh. Stay safe, and goodbye.